Welcome back, everybody. It's your boy Raw Talk Live Sports, aka the Ghetto Stephen A. Man, and we back at it. Floyd Money Mayweather, Logan Paul. Now you're hearing a lot of speculation. Matter of fact, it's not even speculation. Is this a spectacle of this fine sport of boxing that we all love to watch? Or is it just another facet or avenue for the sport of boxing to be taken to the next level? Now, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, these gentlemen have started out on YouTube. Very large, very huge, very popular following. So I understand the aesthetics of these guys coming to boxing. You know what I mean? Not only for the money, but they also bring a fan base. You know what I mean? And fan base calculate into numbers, to figures, to dollar signs. Floyd Mayweather stepping into the ring, fighting somebody like Logan Paul, who is the bigger guy. And if he was a skilled big guy, even though Floyd is as great as he is, Logan Paul will absolutely go into that fight, if it is a real fight, instead of just a money grab. And he will destroy Floyd Mayweather. All he has to do is suffocate him. If Logan Paul had real talent and skill, as great as Floyd Mayweather is, but, and I do mean but, is this a fight or a money grab? Because if this is a money grab, just like with the McGregor fight, Logan Paul is going to catch Floyd with a couple of shots. Then you're going to see Floyd counterpunch Logan Paul, catch him with a couple of shots. But just like the game plan that he had against Conor McGregor, he's going to have the same game plan against Logan Paul. He's going to take Logan Paul to the deep waters because he's the bigger guy. He's going to fatigue quicker than Floyd. And as he starts to gas out, nobody's going to know this better than Floyd, because Floyd is literally going to be standing toe-to-toe with this guy. He's going to hear the breathing. He's going to see his body control. And once Logan Paul starts to gas out a bit, you're going to see Floyd Money Mayweather put his foot on the gas. So he's going to reserve himself. This is Floyd. The first half of the fight, I believe. You're going to see a lot of counterpunching. You're going to see some movement. But the second half of the fight, you're going to see Floyd slowly start to turn it up. And as I said, if Logan Paul starts to gas out in the second half of the fight, for sure, Floyd Money Mayweather is going to put his foot on the gas, and he's going to start attacking the body. And when the body go, the head will show. And Floyd is going to counterpunch and catch Logan Paul with a shot and possibly stop him. I would say anywhere between round 9 and 12. That's in my opinion. But also, as I said, if Logan Paul comes into this fight, if it is a fight, and he does possess skills, I'm not talking about just things that were shown on media day. Because if you go by what was shown on media day, to be honest with you, Logan Paul, he really isn't super explosive. He's not as fast as Floyd, even though he's younger than Floyd. He's not fast at all, even for a big guy, because you can be a big guy and still be quick. But his hand speed isn't that fast. His body control isn't that fast. And the way that he was attacking the bag, leads me to believe that he's going to not only press, but stand in front of Floyd Mayweather, because he wasn't utilizing his footwork. He wasn't moving around. And the purpose of the heavy bag is not only for strength and cardio, but also movement. The heavy bag is your target. It moves like a pendulum, all types of ways and directions. And you're supposed to move around that bag, not just stand in front of it. So by him just standing in front of that bag, outside looking in, that tells me that his movement is going to be insufficient coming into this fight. Because when you think about it, he's the bigger guy. The more he moves, the quicker he's going to fatigue. So instead of hitting the punching bag for hours of the day, cardio and stamina should be a large part of Logan Paul's training moving into the Floyd Mayweather fight, if it is a real fight. Now, if it is what it is, end of the day, it's just a money grab, because in my opinion, I believe Big Brother is trying to keep up with Little Brother, Jake Paul. We've recently seen success in Jake Paul, you know what I'm saying, knocking out, you know what I mean, basketball players, knocking out older MMA players. I mean, Ben Askren, at one time he was champion in MMA, but the way that he approached that fight, I already said it, you know what I mean, he looked out of shape. He looked like he really didn't train well. So is Tyron WOODLEY going to be any different? This guy, exactly, former MMA champion, did his thing in the MMA. Everybody know who's Tyron WOODLEY is. But is he coming into this fight to fight? Because if he does not beat up Jake Paul, something ain't right. Because Tyron WOODLEY can fight. Now you can see when he was training, I'm looking at his body control, and as he was hitting the pads, you can kind of see the lower half of his body wanted to execute a leg kick or a side kick. So mentally, his mind hasn't transitioned yet from MMA to boxing. That could be a problem. So that means that's something that he's going to have to be conscious of. And what does that mean? He's going to be distracted. Tyron WOODLEY starts to get frustrated and starts to kind of want to get his MMA on. That's when Jake Paul should go to work. Jake Paul does possess power, does possess some reasonable boxing ability, because coming from the YouTube game to the boxing game, he has been training. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been training doing MMA, he's been training boxing. So he has been putting in some work. But he hasn't fought any notable boxers. Just YouTubers and, you know what I'm saying, whatever. That's his only downfall. Because when he faces a good boxer, especially somebody halfway decent, he's going to be in trouble. And I believe they're going to have these fights until that time comes. He's going to get a little extra bread, get a little bit of extra gravy on potatoes until that fight comes, because eventually it has to happen. You can't keep on fighting and fighting these nobodies, you know what I'm saying, ex-players of this, that, the third. No, eventually you're going to have to fight a real fighter, somebody halfway decent. And even if this fighter, quote unquote, isn't known, if this guy is a professional athlete, meaning he's been training, he can go in there and beat the hell out of Jake Paul. Easy. Now, his brother Logan Paul, you're going into this fight to face Floyd Money Mayweather. There is no way that he should walk up out of this fight with him being the winner. Unless, as I said, he really did or really does possess some ability, as number one. And number two, he actually uses that ability in conjunction with his size and presses and overwhelms Floyd Mayweather. That is the only way that he can win. That is the only way that I see him winning, because he cannot outbox Floyd Mayweather by far. The only thing that he can do is press and overpower. When he gets Floyd in the corner on the ropes, you know what I'm saying, rough him up, you know what I mean, lean on him, put all that weight on Floyd, you know what I'm saying, try to gas his legs out. Even though I don't see that happening as well, because Floyd, he still is in good shape, you know what I'm saying, as you see from some of the shots. I mean, still looks crispy, footwork still looks good, movement still looks good. So I think that his conditioning won't be a problem. His conditioning has never been a problem for Floyd Mayweather. Never. So although he has been out the game, I really don't think that's going to hurt Floyd Money Mayweather that much. He's notorious for saying, you give me 8 weeks and we got to fight. So Floyd never lets himself get too far out of shape that he can't easily whip himself back into shape. So how will that translate and triculate into the fight? We shall see come Sunday. Okay. So is Floyd doing this for the money? I mean, you see the pictures, him advertising alcohol, him advertising subwoofers and speakers. Like Floyd is like the new Shaq, you know what I'm saying? Like this dude, you know what I mean, be doing commercials and advertisements, you know what I'm saying? And it's like a lot of people saying it's like when you see certain actors, especially if they're A-list actors, when you start seeing them popping up doing commercials, you know what I'm saying? People's like, okay, well, their acting career is pretty much done. Once you start doing a commercial thing, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? You pretty much almost out the game. Or you need the money. Either or. Because Shaq has always had money. And Shaq was popping way before George Foreman was, as far as, you know what I'm saying, endorsements, advertising, doing certain commercials for brands. So I get it. But at the same time, Floyd hasn't been known for that. Speaker brands or alcohol brands or car brands or whatever. They're going to pay Floyd, you know what I mean? But Floyd, at this point, doing these commercials, fighting these non-fighters, and then you fighting these nobodies, I mean, it's quite apparent that it's a cash grab. And then you're going to have to fall under the scrutiny of, is Floyd living a little bit beyond his means? Private planes, mansions, cars, shopping, jewelry, money, betting. Keep in mind, Floyd is still a family man. Floyd has children. College tuition. He's a grandfather now. You know what I mean? So he has to secure that bag, not only for his legacy, but for his kids, for his children's way of life, how they live. Most certainly for his way of life and how he lives. I'm not mad at Floyd, but at the same time, I do believe that's kind of tarnishing his legacy, because he got out the game 50-0. Now Logan Paul, I mean, these dudes, like I said, they look good for the cameras, but at the same time, you could probably take somebody off the street who's a halfway decent street fighter, put some gloves on them, and put them in that ring, and they'll probably beat the hell out of Logan Paul or Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? So, end of the day, skill should triumph over whatever. Will it? That remains to be seen. But Talk Nation, man, if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment in the comment section. If you did not enjoy the video, also leave a comment in the comment section. First time to the channel, you family, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, man. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications. Please turn on notifications so when the content drops, you're the first one in line to get served. Talk Nation, you already know. It's your boy Stand Up. Peace.